Is your business really paying attention to what your audience is talking about on social media? In today's episode, we talk about social listening and how your business can use it to gain further insight into your customer. Hey there, this is Sean Mackey. I want to welcome you to episode 4 of Mackey Digital's Q&A Tuesday, where we talk about different tools, tips, and techniques you can use for your business to make your marketing better, faster, and more profitable. I want to first welcome everybody to the show. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. For those of you in the US, I hope it was relaxing and enjoyable. I got to spend some time with the family this weekend, which was very nice. Did some hanging out, some grilling, some swimming, just all around good time. So now we're back in the driver's seat with another week and another episode of the show. Very excited about the show today. It's a topic that, I've gotten a lot of use out of over the past couple years. I think that clearly as social media continues to grow as a channel for businesses to reach customers, it's highly important to have tools in your toolbox that you can use to keep your finger on the pulse of what people are doing today, what languages they're using to communicate, what platforms they're using to communicate. So I'm really excited to answer this question, talk a little bit about the psychology behind it, and give you some concrete tactics on how you can utilize social listening to improve your business. So let's jump into the question. Okay, today's question comes from Tamar Skolnick, and she writes, "Hi Mackey Digital, I believe social listening is critical, but how do you make social listening targeted to segmented audiences?" Okay, this is a fantastic question, Tamar, and the first thing I would say is if you're looking to do social listening, quantify who your segments are. Segmenting can be anything from age to demo to niche. So it's important to first identify what you want to target and then figure out a way to listen effectively over social media. Now, I'm also going to assume we're talking about automated strategies because clearly social listening, you just go out there and talk to people. You could jump in a group that's related to something you're talking about, or jump on a forum and just start listening and paying attention to what's going on. What I want to share today in today's episode are some tactics that you can use to automate this process so that you can set up different social listening mechanisms and have them working for you while you're out running other areas of your business. I mean, that's really what the show's all about is how we can leverage tools, techniques, and strategies, like I said, to make your business better, make your business more effective. So I think it's first key to identify the difference, right, between listening on social versus listening on search. I've been talking about SEO a lot lately, and if let's just use, you're a real estate salesman, okay, for example, and you're trying to reach customers on SEO, you want to show up in the search results when people type in phrases like, buy a house in Miami, for example, right? Or rent an apartment in New York. Well, the difference between social listening and trying to rank on search, or trying to identify keywords on search versus on social, is that on social, you have to figure out what the driving psychology is behind what that person is trying to accomplish, and then figure out what phrases or keywords they're going to be typing into either their Twitter profile or their Facebook profile. Today we're going to stick to Twitter. I'm going to talk to you guys about a good tactic that you can use on Twitter for social listening. So on Twitter, for example, somebody that needs an apartment may type the phrase, "Ugh, I really need an apartment," right? So you would be listening for that phrase, right? So it's about tapping into the psychology of what that person's going through in relation to where they are in a cycle of buying something. I mean, ultimately the reason you're doing social listening is oftentimes to drive bottom line revenue, to drive a sale. So once you've identified in their mind what phrases they might be using, then you can start to put mechanisms in place to search for those. Now, the first part of social listening on Twitter is to use Google search. Is to use Twitter search rather. Twitter has an advanced search tool that's super advanced. It's got a lot of different flexibility and capabilities. So let's take a look at it right now. Okay, now on the Twitter search page, if you just go to twitter.com/search-advanced, you can see there's a bunch of different fields that you can type in here. So all of these words, this exact phrase, any of these words, etc. Hashtags, you can choose different languages that it's written in. You can segment by different people, you can segment by places, by dates, even by emotion. So some of these are very powerful techniques when you use them in combination with each other. So to get back to our example from earlier of somebody that may be a realtor, you would do an advanced search for the keyword phrase, I need an apartment. Okay, now I've run one here for you. This is actually an example I use often, but let's just go through a couple of these results. The first one, my mom becomes clingy at the worst times. I need an apartment. I need some cool down time. I mean, that person might not be the most high quality prospect for you, right? But it may be. Who knows? That would be somebody I'd be interested in, maybe seeing some more tweets about, seeing if there's really contacts. The next one, a week from today, I'll be moving into my new apartment. Also, I need an apartment. Well, if you're a realtor, I mean, there's a person that's in a very dire situation and they need to move on something. They need to act on something. And they may be somebody, worth following up with, worth talking to, worth establishing a relationship with. The third one, Emily, I need an apartment house somewhere between Farmington and STL. I'm guessing Seattle. LOL. I don't know Farmington versus Seattle. I'm not really sure what that's about. But again, it's a person that expressed a distinct need based on the keyword phrase that describes the psychology of where they're currently at in relation to what it is that you're looking to track. So, it's somebody that I would certainly keep a further eye on. Now, this is just one example from one day. You need to really figure out what phrases you're going to target on a daily basis and then go through every day or every hour, depending on, what your niche or market is. This isn't going to work as well for certain markets as it will for other. For example, if there's not a lot of chatter about a certain topic, it's going to be really hard to listen to that. Or if it's a really saturated topic, it's going to be really hard to sort of delve through all that noise and drill down and figure out what's important. So again, evaluate your niche, your market, what segment you're trying to target, and also evaluate evaluate what keyword phrases you're using to identify those prospects. And then the interesting part is you can save Twitter searches. So if you run a search query, you can then save it so that you can come back and click that query over and over again and keep pulling up new results for it. And to take it one step further, if you use a tool like Hootsuite's the tool we use, it has the capability in it to set up a tab. And what I do is I set up all of my saved searches there. And so I log into that tab once a day and I just read through all the keyword terms I'm targeting and see if there's anybody new that has typed anything in relation to what I'm searching for. And then from there, I can just go and type them a message and start a conversation and start a dialogue. Again, remember when you're doing audience listening, it's so much about creating engagement and opening a dialogue versus, oh, hey, you're looking for that. Here's my realty listing, right? If you do that, it comes off as really spammy. And that's a big key that a lot of companies, a lot of businesses, a lot of brands, a lot of individuals are missing right now because they just look at social as a push platform, right? And it's more of a push and pull platform. It's more of a conversation. So, if this person said, oh, I need an apartment, yada, yada, yada. Oh, why, what are you doing out there? Why are you looking for one? What's got you interested in making the switch? Yada, yada. Come up with some, some dialogue that can get your foot in the door and get a conversation started. And from there, you can really, assess how the conversation's going, assess if it's going to be a good fit for you. So social listening, in a nutshell, it's about identifying the psychology of where the person's at, what words they're using to describe it on their social profiles, and then setting up automated keyword searches to monitor different social networks like Twitter in this case to identify those people and pull them out in real time, bring them back to you in a list that you can use to assess, figure out which ones are the best, and open up a dialogue with them. So I hope that was useful for you. If you've gotten value out of it, or if you like the episode, definitely please leave me a comment below, share with your friends, post a link, tweet it out, smoke screens, smokestacks, whatever you need to do to get this out, because it really helps us understand what's resonating with people, what you want to see more of. If you'd like to get a question on the show, you can go ahead and send a tweet to @MackeyDigital, and we'll do our best to get you on a future show. So let's end the show with a fun question today. What's the funniest thing you've ever seen posted on social media? Dig it up and leave a link below. I'd be curious to see. So this is Sean Mackey. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Go out there and make it an awesome day.